All right, I'm still working inside this out-of-alignment-shapes.ai file. I've made some modifications per my instructions in the previous exercise. In this exercise, I'm going to review your alignment options here inside of Illustrator, as well as show you how to align one object to a key object. So I'm going to press Control-Y, or Command-Y in the Mac, to return to the preview mode. And notice if I select both of these chiclet objects, the one that contains the slash through it, as inspired by the none icon here inside of Illustrator, as well as the larger chiclet, and then I go up to these options here inside the control panel, and we've got the option of horizontally aligning the center of these two shapes, like so, and then vertically aligning their centers as well, and congratulations, they're now aligned with each other. Big problem. We spend all that time trying to position the big chiclet, and now Illustrator's gone ahead and moved it to a different location, so we're going to have to reposition both of these chiclets just like we did before. I don't want to have to go to that work, obviously, so I'll press Control-Z a couple of times, Command-Z a couple of times on the Mac to reinstate the positioning of both objects. Well, what's going on when you align objects in Illustrator? It goes ahead and splits the difference between the two of them. So you're averaging the location of a couple of objects, unless you go ahead and specify a key object. And notice up here, if you go to this alignment pop-up menu, you'll see that you have the option of aligning these objects to a selection, which would be each other, so you're going to split the difference, or to the artboard, so that you could center both the objects on the artboard if you like, or to a key object. Well, you can choose that option, but that doesn't really do you any good because who's the key object? I'll go ahead and click center again, and Illustrator decided to select this one for me. So the front object in this case ended up being the key object. No, Illustrator, bad program. So I'll press Control-Z, Command-Z on the Mac to undo that modification. You need to select the key object, and you do that by clicking again. It's such a weird little hidden trick, but you just click again on an already selected object when you have more than one object selected like this. And now Illustrator automatically switches to align to key object. It'll do that for you. And then you click center, and the other object moves over. So the key object remains fixed. The non-key object or objects will move. And then you click vertical align center, and you've properly positioned both chiclets now inside of your graphic. All right, I'm going to zoom out because we're going to do one more thing to these guys. We're going to flip them in order to create the chiclets on the right-hand side of the graphic. And you know what? I've kind of lost sight of my guide, so I'll press Control semicolon or Command semicolon on the Mac. That didn't work. I turned the guides layer off, so I need to turn it back on. That didn't work because I just got done pressing Control semicolon, which hid the guides that weren't there. Now I need to press Control semicolon or Command semicolon on the Mac again to bring back the guides that are there. And I might as well bring back my shapes template as well so that I can see it. All right, so I want to take these two selected chiclets and I want to flip them around the center of the graphic. And so I can once again select the Reflect tool, or I can press the O key. And then I will Alt-click or Option-click at this guide intersection. Make sure that you are flipping across the vertical axis. That's very important. And click Copy. And we're too zoomed in to see if it worked properly, but yep, there it is. We now have the stars and the chiclets exactly where we want them. In the next exercise, I'm going to draw this arrowhead here using a rotated constraint axis. Very powerful stuff.